So let me record. Yeah. So I think the recording has started. Okay, so yeah, welcome, Sobin. Let me quickly introduce myself. So this meeting that we are doing is just a discovery session,
Okay.
just so that we get to meet each other and we know, the agenda and the tasks ahead of, both of us and how we can work together collaboratively to, achieve your goal of becoming a full stack data analyst. So I'm going to be, viewing my other screen because there are some
Mhm.
things I jotted so that, I'll be able to carry on the agenda very well.
Okay, sir.
So let me just quickly introduce myself and tell you a little about myself.
Mhm.
So my name is Ahmed and my surname is Adamu, but you can call me Ahmed. That's my
Mhm.
first name.
Okay.
And I am a data analyst and I've been in this field for over 5 years now.
Wow.
I'm from Nigeria, I'm African, and
Mhm.
I'm currently, based in the UK
Mhm.
at Norwich City to be precise. So
Wow.
presently I work with a farm called Banham Poultry
Mhm.
here at the outskirts of Norwich as a data analyst.
Mhm.
And prior to working at Banham, I was with South Norfolk and Broadland District Council as a data analyst. So I worked for them for about a year
Mhm.
before I, went to Banham Poultry. So a little about my education and background. I started my university in, chemical engineering. I
Mhm.
had a bachelor's in chemical engineering, and then I did a master's in process engineering,
Wow.
and I did another master's again as well in finance and investment.
Mhm.
So the whole reason why I diversified was because, I like, to learn and I like to diversify my knowledge so that I'll have idea of, how, real life businesses work, and
Mhm.
so that I can fit in into any organization that, is suitable for my career and for my growth. So I'll say one of my strongest and, my most proud achievements I have till date was my two masters. I was able to finish it with, a distinction.
Okay.
I came
Wow.
out with first class in the two masters, and that was down to, determination and, learning.
Mhm.
So that's a little bit about my education background, and let me just tell you a little about my work experience where I
Okay.
started my journey as a data analyst. So, like I
Mhm.
told you, I studied engineering, but I was not able to practice as an engineer.
Mhm.
However, I found myself, as a data analyst,
Mhm.
and that started in about 2017, where I
Wow.
worked as a junior data analyst in abroad.
Mhm.
Then I was new to the field and I worked for a retail company. Used to, manufacture little products and sell. So it was just basic analysis I did for them using Microsoft Excel
Mhm.
and as their database. And then I was, doing visualizations of different reports, and presenting it to stakeholders. So I worked there for about a year before I went back to
Mhm.
school to do my master's. And then after
Okay.
my master's, I also got another contract job. Or this
Mhm.
time around, it was a remote job with Nimbus. It's a company in Germany. It was a 3-month contract,
Okay.
and they were just doing a startup for their company where they
Mhm.
were selling cannabis products that
Mhm.
was used for healthcare. And basically, what I did for them was just to do a customer analysis report for them for a test or for a pilot so that they understand the products that were selling more and to know that the products that customers like more so that they will know how to build their product based on that particular analysis or that particular report I gave for them. And after that, I worked with a company in abroad called NICTA. And
Mhm.
what they usually do, it was just a government agency where they were able to train a community,
Mhm.
based on different IT skills, just like how Open Classroom is. But I was
Okay.
in charge of the mentoring of data analysts and data scientists then. So I worked there for about 3 months also. I didn't stay
Okay.
that long, and it was just like a contract as well. And then I ventured into the banking industry where I worked as a data analyst for about 2 years. And all this experience, most of them was in abroad, in Nigeria to be specific. So in summary, what I did in the bank was just to visualize and build reports for them and, to help them understand their financials better and see where they needed to be improvement and all those kind of analysis. And then from there, I came to abroad here in the UK where I got my first job with Broadland District Council here in Norwich. I worked as a data analyst for them for about a year, and it was, an amazing experience because working abroad here in the UK and Nigeria, there were, different ball game or different experiences. So I had to adjust with, the what do you call requirement of work here in the UK as compared to that in Nigeria. And I had to do a lot of research and a lot of learning to be able to ensure that I'm able to deliver and, achieve my goals. And then from there, I worked with a Carrot Innovation. It's an online part-time, kind of job where I worked as a data scientist as well. It's in abroad. Or I recently, quit there because of I have so many engagement and so many work to do. So I worked there for about 10 months as well. And then I currently work with Banham Poetry, as I mentioned earlier, when I introduced,
Yeah.
myself. And then right now, I'm also a mentor with Open Classroom. So that's just a brief about my, experience to date. So I would say I am, well experienced in this field, and I'm really, really happy to share all my challenges, to share all my ideas, to share my experience with you because this is a unique opportunity you have. I'll be sincere with you. And, when I was starting my career, I wish I had this type of opportunity where, apart
Mm-hmm.
from just learning, I have someone that will, pull me up and guide me and make me concentrate on little things and important things, to learn. Because when I first started, I remember it was a little bit challenging for me in the sense that I didn't really know where to concentrate, where to
Mm-hmm.
start from, what to use, and all of that. So along the line, I was able to, gather momentum and find all those myself. But I think with Open Classroom, we've really chosen the right path, and it's now left for you to, put in your best and dedicate your time, and in some few months' time, you will definitely be a rock star in the field. Um, so that's just a brief summary about myself. So can I ask you, you should tell me in a few words, about you and your career to date and, why you are here.
Okay. So I'm Sobin Sojan. I'm from India and I'm an international student. I'm currently staying in Cambridge. I did my master's in business administration from Anglia Ruskin University, and I'm currently working for Cambridge University Press and Assessment as an
Okay,
administrator. So I
okay,
don't have any background related to data analyst or in any kind of programming language. My background was in a bachelor's in business administration, and
okay,
that was from India. So
okay,
the reason why I thought I'll choose to be a data analyst is there are a lot of plenty of opportunities, and uh,
yeah,
all the jobs as a data analyst, you know, gives you a platform where you can get a tier two sponsorship and that sort. So for me,
okay,
uh, getting a sponsorship is really important, and I did
okay,
work out what are the best opportunities, for
okay,
people in this country to get a
okay,
sponsorship, and I came across this data analyst position and open classroom and that sort. So that's the start for me. I mean, as a data analyst, so I did a couple of research, and then I did see a lot of videos about data analysts, how their life work and what they do, how they do things, and things like that. So that has really impressed me. So I was thinking of choosing a career either between data analyst or a business analyst, and data
okay,
analyst is more engaging, more I felt like, I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity to be, and you can work as a freelancer, you can can travel the world, and
Exactly.
yeah, so
Exactly.
we can, yeah, so things like that attracted me towards being a data analyst or apply for this, you know, opportunity to study through open classroom.
Okay. Okay. That's
Yeah.
that's great. And I can assure you that all the things you've mentioned
Hmm.
is 100% true because, as a data analyst, you get to choose where you want to work, how you
Hmm.
want to work, and
Hmm.
there's that flexibility compared to when you're doing other jobs where you can work from home, can work
Hmm.
from, various locations as long as you deliver on your
Hmm.
targets, then you're good to go. So I agree with you. There's that, flexibility. So yeah, you chose the right path. I can assure you that because at least successful in that part. And like you said, there are so many, many opportunities. And once you're able to, build your portfolio and,
Hmm.
get yourself together, believe you me, there will be jobs knocking at your door every now and then. And you'll be, in a position to choose and say, oh, I like this one, I don't like this one. And,
Hmm.
so yeah, I can testify to that. So if I may ask you as well again, what is your career plan after, you finish this particular course?
So I would like to land a job as quick as possible because that's one way I can have more practical skills and I can learn programming, language, coding,
Okay,
and that sort. So landing a
okay.
job is my priority. So
All
I'm
right.
looking for a job right after I successfully finish the course.
All right. So, lastly, how much time do you think you can sacrifice or you put in for this training in terms
So
of time? Yeah. How
yeah,
much
at the
time can you
moment I'm
dedicate?
sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. Did I cut you off?
Okay. No, no
Sorry.
problem. No, no, that's fine. Yeah.
So I network is still, I think it's a bit lagging. I mean, yeah, that's why.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So
Okay.
as of now, I'm kind of in a very bad situation. My contract where I was staying, uh, expired 2 weeks, couple of weeks back. I did let
Oh,
Dan know about it, my situation, and I'm crashing at my friend's house. So
okay.
from this 1st of July, I have found a place and I have paid the rent and deposit. So I'll be moving
Okay.
to my new room, and
Okay.
hopefully things are gonna be fine because where I'm working, I have to work 35 hours a week, and
Okay.
it's a busy
Okay.
time at the moment. And if
Okay.
anyone, you know, if I don't show up for work, then
Yeah, yeah.
it's not good. I mean,
Okay.
it's a busy days. I mean, busy month. So
Okay.
I have informed my line manager when I got into this
Okay.
open
Okay.
classroom platform when I got an
Okay.
opportunity. So I did let him
Okay.
know, and he was like, "Let's work out. We'll work it out." And I did inform my class hours and the sessions and things like that. So
Okay.
hopefully by 1st of July,
Okay.
I'm at the moment. I mean, there is no way because it's overcrowded where I'm staying. I'm crashing at a friend's
Okay.
house, and then he has his things to do.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of,
True. True.
yeah.
Okay. No
So
problem.
once after July, I think I'm gonna spend at least like 4 hours a week. So I don't
Okay.
want to say 8 9 hours because that's not realistic and that's not
Yes.
possible at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
So
That's not
I
possible. Yeah.
have made a timetable, and my timetable looks like 35 hours week. I mean 35 hours of work a week, and then 35 hours of studies, and so that's 5 hours. But I don't think I'll be able to do sit for 5 hours. So close to
Okay.
3 to 4, being honest, like 3 to 4 a day,
Okay. Okay. 3 to 4 hours
and
per day. Okay.
yeah, 3 to 4. The max I have kept the time as 5 hours. So
Okay.
anything between 3 and 5, let's say 3 and 5 for yeah.
All right. No, no problem. I think I understand your situation, and it's always good to be calm and relaxed when you're doing your thing, so that you have that concentration and you're able to understand things. Because once you're not settled, I can understand how frustrating it can be thinking about other things, and so putting in your
Mhm.
best might be difficult. But don't worry. Um, I understand what you're going through, and we are here to support you. And in terms of your time management, I would like to speak about that because that's very, very important. Because
Mhm.
just like how I mentioned to you earlier, apart from my education, I have about 13 certifications on my LinkedIn. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
with time I would connect with you and so that you can see how my portfolio is and you can learn from it. So time management, and that particular effort you put is very, very important because
Mm-hmm.
no matter how they teach you data
Mm-hmm.
analysis, if you don't sit down to practice, then I'm sorry, you won't be as good as how you should be. Because
Okay,
when you
makes sense.
try to do your self-study, you are going to
Mm-hmm.
encounter challenges of which when you encounter that challenge and they explain to you, it tends to stay with you and that now becomes like an experience to you. So that's when you will now know if you really understand or not. It's just like when you're teaching in classroom and the teacher is teaching and you are flowing and later when you go and revise, you'll be like, oh, how did you get this? I can't really remember. So that's how you get to learn and become better at what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing I will do, I'll quickly share my screen so that we can just quickly look at your profile on the
Mm-hmm.
open classroom and just show you the task that is ahead of you. So just let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, sir, I can see.
Okay, okay. So this is what your profile looks like in open classroom. And
Mm-hmm.
this is the path you have chosen. And I can see that your funding ends, September 11, 2023, which is about
Mm-hmm.
roughly, let's say, 3 months from now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And aside that, these are some of the projects that you need to deliver before you graduate from this particular class. So
Mm-hmm.
I can see that it is a 12-week funded program, and this is your bar in terms of progress, and your expected progress for this week is supposed to be at 6%.
Mm-hmm.
But we are currently at 0%. But this is not an issue. This is something that we'll work together to be
Mm-hmm.
able to achieve this particular goal. So like I told you, this is where your time management comes into play because 12 weeks it comes so quickly. Before you
That's right.
close your eyes and open it, you just be like, wow, it's already 12 weeks. So you need to plan your time well and make sure that you're able to deliver and complete this project. So
Mm-hmm.
one advice I'll give you for this particular project is try as much as possible to complete them
Mm-hmm.
and to do them. And when you do them, these are some of the experience you are going to use when you're applying for jobs. They'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, what projects have you worked on? Can you tell me about a time where you did a particular analysis? Can you tell
Mm-hmm.
me a time where you're able to, meet up with a particular deadline? So this particular project that Open Classroom has set up for you is just trying to mimic what happens in the real life scenario. And
That's
these are typical real life, projects that you tend to work with for various companies. And,
okay.
and these are different tools you can use because I can see SQL here, which is very,
Mm-hmm.
very key to most organizations everywhere. Most organizations make use of this language. So these are realistic, projects, and I'm really happy that I'll
Mm-hmm.
mentor you on some of these projects, and you'll be able to build your portfolio based on this project, and
Okay.
so that you become very good at what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see that this is your part, and I just thought I should share that with you, and so that to be
Okay.
sure that we are on the same page. So
Mm-hmm.
let me quickly stop sharing and then I move on to the next thing ahead of me. So the next thing here is, you know, um, how we're going to organize, organization of your bootcamp part. And as you saw, what I showed earlier, your bootcamp comprises of projects which has timeline, as we just saw
Mm-hmm.
earlier, you know, and you have a project presentation with an assessor. So basically, what I'm going to be doing for you is one-on-one weekly mentoring session.
Okay.
But you already know that you have your particular master or teacher who is going to be teaching you, and then you have your student manager, where if you have any
Mm-hmm.
issues, you can easily reach out to and clarify some things. Um, And also another thing I can be doing for you is part of your bootcamp part is you're going to also, check for, you know, courses and external resources. So courses, what I mean by courses is some of the videos that is mandatory for you to watch and to learn.
Mm-hmm.
It's not compulsory, but I highly recommend that you watch the videos just so that you have an idea of, how those things work and how you can implement it. And, just not just for the project, but for your own sake. And when you go to real life, job
Mm-hmm.
or real life companies, you're able to reflect and remember that, oh, I was taught this and this is how this is done. So that's the advantage of, watching videos and also learning. And I can also help with external resources for any, part you're not clear about. I have
Mm-hmm.
lots of resources. And in fact, till today, I always learn, I keep learning. I don't assume that I'm a master. I just keep learning because the world of data is so large and there are so many
Mm-hmm.
updates such that, when there are updates, you always tend to learn, new skills and, you're able to adapt because for your company, let's say, for example, your company makes use of Python or let's say Microsoft Excel and they decided that, oh, we want to upgrade and make use of Tableau. But once you have that knowledge, when they want to adjust, it becomes easy for you because you already have an idea compared to when you just only know Microsoft Excel and then it now start becoming an issue for you because they have to train you and spend money to train you on new project as well or new products. So our one-on-one mentoring session is going to be weekly and it's going to be a 45-minute video call.
Okay.
However, for this one, we might slightly extend it because of, we didn't start early.
I'm so
But in
sorry, sir.
subsequent, no problem. But for subsequent session, we'll just try and keep it to 45 minutes. Then another key point I noted here was your individual learning, which I already mentioned earlier. It's important for you to sacrifice that particular time, to always, even though, like you said, 3, 4 hours a day, even though you can't do it at once at a stretch, you could just break it down that, okay, 1 hour I want to do this, 1 hour I want to, but ensure that within that day or within that week you complete those hours. It really help you. You
Mm-hmm.
get to develop yourself very, very well. It has worked for me as well from experience. I'm really telling you this. Even now before I called you, I'm surrounded by books here. I'm reading myself, trying to diversify, try to learn. I just make use of my weekends for learning. So if
Mm-hmm.
someone that like me that has experience is learning, so you too, you can also do that. It's just a habit. You just try to discipline yourself and you have time for other things, but just ensure that you keep to that discipline and you
Okay.
follow it so that you become very, very good at your data
Okay, sir.
analysis. Then also I saw that in your profile you'll be having group sessions,
Mm-hmm.
with colleagues and all of that. I think that is twice a week.
Okay.
So your group sessions will also help you to interact and meet other data analysts and see how they are doing and if there are any questions for you to answer. And
Mm-hmm.
then you also have a career coaching session in the group weekly in your last
Mm-hmm.
month. So I think that's the particular bootcamp part for you.
Mm-hmm.
Then also I would like you maybe after the call to share your group session schedule with me, and
Mm-hmm.
just so that I'm able to monitor and know, how that works. Then also I also like to differentiate between the one-on-one mentoring session that me and you are going to be having and your bi-weekly group session with your teacher. So for
Mm-hmm.
the one-on-one mentoring with me, I'll be limited to, sharing resources with you, different important information that's going to help you in delivering your, you know, deliverables and also for you to understand data analysis very well and share my experience.
Mm-hmm.
Then also me and you can develop your individual learning plan. Um, and also I'll be able to, answer questions and give you constructive feedback, you know,
Okay.
on your work and for your skill acquisition as well. And I'll be
Mm-hmm.
able to estimate your progress and, prepare you for your project before you meet with your assessor in terms of where you're going to present and all of that. Then also I'm going to set smart goals for you. And, smart simply means, your specific project and, in your project, what is measurable, what is attainable. and the relevance and then the timeline for this particular project. So those are the things that I'm going to be doing for a weekly, so that it's going to help you that okay, in this week, you're able to progress by 10% or 5% like that. So it does give you that particular idea if you're, within the timeline or not,
All
and if you're
right.
making progress or not. Then, I just want to this, if you have any issues, I'm always helped here to ensure that, I help you resolve it with open
So,
classroom
mhm,
and by making them here and giving you feedback on your needs. So my role is limited to mentorship and giving you that learning support. So it's fine. So for the
mhm,
bi-weekly group sessions, what that one entails is going to be led by a teacher.
mhm,
And the teacher, what is going to be doing for you is just like giving project introductions, the key concepts to what you need to deliver, your exercises, your deliverables in terms of analysis and all of that. And also, the bi-weekly group session will cover your weekly career development, sessions with a coach during the last month. And this will just focus on helping you, and guiding you prepare for interviews and, and understand how the new job market is when you're applying for,
mhm,
jobs. And then also about your student success network. Basically, how what this means is you are surrounded by, so it's just like a Venn diagram where you are the center and you are surrounded by, different, what do you call it, different resources to help you achieve your goal. So, like I said, I'm your mentor, and you also have your student success manager. And this your
mhm,
student success manager just checks in with you to understand, if everything is okay with you, is going to set you up, and you can ask them all administrative queries, and you can get in touch with them if you need anything. So this is the task of your student success manager. And then you also have your student community. Your student
mhm.
community is on Slack. Have you heard of Slack before?
No,
Okay.
Slack is the
So
app where we connect with other colleagues,
exactly,
right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Then I
you
have
have that
never
part.
used it, but yeah, I have received the link and then I did
Okay,
log in and create a
exactly.
account. Yeah.
Exactly. So that community also will also help you because if you guys are working on similar projects, everybody can drop their challenges and you can as well, learn from the community. That's your essence of, putting the group together so that it's going to motivate you guys and you ensure that, everything is fine for you. And then you're going to also have study webinars and career development. So this is what I mentioned earlier, where you have a teacher that will, lead you on those projects and, will guide you to your career path. And in terms of creating this success system, what I'm going to do is in our weekly session, our attendance is going to be mandatory. And also, we are going to schedule these sessions in advance, just like how I did from last week. And also, after
Okay.
this call, I'm going to schedule, for the next session. And however, if in between the sessions I do, something like this happened today, or you're not able to meet up, you can as well let me know ahead of time so that we can see how we can reschedule and, make it work, just so that we ensure that we have that consistency.
Mhm.
And also, part of the rule is, an absence without notice, or maybe someone is being late by more than 15 minutes, we'll just cancel that meeting and that session is lost. But
Mhm.
like I said, if ahead of time you feel, there need to be changes, I'm always flexible. You can always let me know and then we'll see how we can,
Okay.
make it work around based on my time. And
Mhm.
then, we should just have that open and honest communication. I'm your mentor, but it doesn't mean I'm your teacher. We are like partners. I'm just trying to here to help you, to achieve your goals and your dreams and, share my ideas. So feel free, open communicate with me anytime. I'm always here for you. And also, it's also important for you to know that, if you're not satisfied by, a particular mentor you're giving, you have the right to also, ask for a change of mentor and, that can be implemented for you as well. Um, then also, if you have questions between the mentoring sessions, you can send me, a note or an email. You can
Okay.
send it to me ahead of time. And if I'm unable to respond within the time that you want, because at
Mhm.
times I usually get so busy
That's fine.
with work. But if I don't respond to you on time, then you might have the opportunity to see the answer within the Slack community, like I mentioned to you, because sometimes if you guys work on similar project, there'll be one or two people that will encounter that same thing that you want to ask. And if you're lucky, you'll be able to see the answer there instead of me delaying and waiting for you. If not, then you can also ask the question in the group session that, oh, hello everybody, please, I'm having issue with this. How do I go about it? And all these things I'm telling you is not just even based on what I've written, but it's based on experience because if you check my LinkedIn profile, I've done so many boot camps. I'm in so many Discord groups, so many Slack groups, and this is how I get to learn. I just, even though I don't have questions, I just enter and I see people questions and I see different methods that they use. I'll be like, oh, so you can do it this way. So I just keep tapping different ideas like a parasite, and it has made me, very, very good at what I do. So I'm just giving you tips towards that. And also you can connect with your student success manager if you have any issues as well. We can
Okay.
also help you with that. Then in terms of our part planning for your particular part, we're going
Mhm.
to review your projects together, like I mentioned, weekly, and then
Mhm.
the completion time, and then we'll check about your study time as well. And then we'll
Okay.
also review the deadlines for each project, and we can also create a personalized plan for you. And there are so many tools you can use for creating your personalized plan. There's one they call Asana, and there are so many. I could share that with you after the class so that you understand that. So for our first week, the SMART goals I'm going to um drop for you is I can see that your profile I think is already updated. At least I can see your picture and all of that. But maybe after the call, you could just go through to ensure that everything is up to date, and
Mhm.
then you can decide on the project management tool you want to use. I think I have few here. I can as well share it with you after the class, but let me just be sure that I have them here. So
Mhm.
for some of the tools that they use, let me quickly see. I had this somewhere on my tab. Um, Let me see if it's here. Oh, no problem. What I'll do, I could forward it to you. So these are those personalized tools that will just help you to measure your progress and to plan whatever you want to do. Aside that again, you know, which course? Okay, I think for this one is already clear the course you want to
Mhm.
complete and the project milestones you will need to complete. So all this will be in our first week smart goals. Then lastly, what I want to mention again is open classroom is always looking for ways to make students experience the best possible as such. So, for example, when I document what we have done in this section, you will receive a summary session or a summary survey by email.
Mhm.
So, when you receive it, you can just complete it. And also for our subsequent classes, you will receive, a survey after every mentorship session, just so that
Mhm.
you're able to, complete it and see if there's anything you need to change. Then also, if there's anything you would like to improve or change in any way, Open Classroom will help you. So if you like I mentioned, if you like to change your mentors and, all of that is very, very possible. And also, if there's any issue bothering you, like I said, always give me that particular, don't hesitate to give me that direct feedback, about our mentoring sessions. Then in our next session, we'll discuss about your first project and I will guide you in achieving your deliverables within that particular stipulated time. What else do I have on my agenda that I listed here?
Mhm.
Um, so basically, it's just a word of encouragement from me. So it's important to know that both me and you are peers and partners, on the
Mhm.
road to your success, like I mentioned earlier. So feel free, reach out to me. I'm a free and easy going person. I'm just always here to help you.
Mhm.
And yeah, I believe that, with your passion and your desire, you'll be able to, have and complete that your dream of becoming a data analyst. And
For sure.
I'll really be proud, to see you achieve your goals and, you know, be able to meet your needs. So it's something that's very possible. Believe in yourself, believe you can do it. If other people can do it, you can also do it. Just put in your best. You pray and ensure that you give it 100%. And I'm super sure, I'm 100% sure that it will definitely come out, positive for you as well.
Thank you so much.
So do you have any question up to this point? Any feedback? Feel
I
free to.
don't have
mm,
any questions as such, but I can
Okay,
assure you, even though I'm off track at the moment, I'll be
okay,
on track soon. I mean, I'm gonna
okay,
I'm a kind of a dedicated person. So,
okay,
for
okay,
example, let's say the Excel sessions, I didn't know at all anything at all in
okay,
Excel. I mean, just the basics, and then I attended the session by sitting. I finished the whole session in one
okay.
night, and I'm
Wow,
kind of
okay,
interested
that's
when
that's
I
great.
want to do something.
Okay,
I'll
okay,
sit down and then I'll get it done.
okay,
So I'm
okay, that's
off track at the moment. I can assure you that I'm gonna do it, and then I'll finish
okay,
this session successfully with
okay.
your support.
All right, no problem. That's great. I'm really impressed by, your dedication already. So what I'll do after this call, I'm going to set up the following week's appointment.
Okay, sir.
So I don't know, I'm going to ask, are you comfortable with us meeting every Sunday this time, or I don't know, or maybe you will contact me when you feel is okay for you early enough so that I can schedule the meeting for, next week.
Mhm.
I don't know. So it does depends on you. So you have my email. So I
Okay.
think I will give you maybe tomorrow to
Mhm.
Tuesday. Just let me know by email if the time you'll be available, and I will see if that
Okay,
works
sir.
for me, and then I'll be able to schedule your meeting. So I don't want to schedule a meeting where I'm not able to get your attention. It's always good to, have you when you're a bit free and,
Usually, I mean,
concentrating.
Sundays are fine. I mean, I work
Okay,
from Monday to Friday, and then do the
okay,
shopping, cooking, and stuff like that on
okay.
Saturdays, and then
Oh, so,
Sundays I'm
okay.
usually free. So,
Okay, okay. No
and then
problem.
I can,
So,
yeah.
okay, no problem. Then that means what I will do, I will just pick a time on Sunday and I will share it with you. If it's fine by you, you reply, and you just choose among the time that I'm going to give you so that we can just, get
Okay, sir.
going with that. Yeah, so I think that's all. And like I said, I'm going to define your first goals in the coming week, and we'll look into your project for next week in our next section. So
Okay, sir.
yeah, I think that's all I have from my own side. So yeah, so Bini, was really nice talking to you. And like I
Same here.
mentioned, feel free anytime. You could send me an email, you
Okay,
could,
sir.
chat me, you could ring me, anyone you feel like, just let me know how it goes. And yeah, I hope we deliver on, this particular task ahead of us. So yeah,
Okay, sir.
that's all from me. Yeah, it was really
Thank you
nice
so
speaking
much.
to you.
Oh,
Yeah, no
same here. Thank you
problem.
so much for waiting for me and then,
Okay.
trying to send me the link on Zoom and Teams
Yeah,
and
no
giving me
problem.
the
No,
call.
no problem,
Thank
not
you
at
so much,
all.
sir.
So, all right, see you in our next session then.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay,
I'll see you
okay, bye
soon.
bye. Yeah.
And sorry, apologies for the, whatever inconvenience caused from my side.